G'day everyone, and on today's episode of Outdoor Antics we're going to be fitting up an XTM 4-wheel-drive single drawer and a hardcore battery box tray for the dual battery setup in the back of the Prado. That's going to help us power our 79 litre ARB fridge, so stay tuned.
How's it going everyone? Future Noel here. What past Noel doesn't realise is the things he has in front of you are not going to fit in the car the way he wants them to. So off camera, he goes to Bunnings for more supplies to finish the job like an amateur. What's even more sad is, he doesn't think to record any of the work he put into installing the drawer, fridge or kitchen he went out and bought on a whim. Moral to the story is, make sure you have everything you need before starting a project. So in this video, after I show off the work I did off camera, I'm actually going to install new weather shields for the windows. Enjoy!
So, just wanted to give you a rundown of the install that I've done in the back of the car now for my kitchen setup. I've got a 900mm 4-wheel drive drawer from XTM that I got at BCF a couple of weeks ago. On top of that fixed top drawer, I've got my 102 amp hour XTM battery in a battery box. I'll show a picture of that in a hot moment. Then I've got next to it on the left hand side, the passenger side of the vehicle, I've got my fridge slide here. Now that's good, it's pretty solid, you know. I've got my 80 litre fridge on top there, which is handy as it's currently sitting at -1 degrees, which is pretty cool. Then if I roll that backwards there, underneath the fridge slide, it's got a roll-out kitchen. So it's got this first bit of bench space here, but then under that it's also got this, which is essentially a windshield for your cooker, which is all, you know, easy to store, parked into a neat little space there, which I like. If I go like that, and just hook that into there, drop that drops into there, that drops into there, that's done. Really easy to set up and use. It's not, man, it might be a bit fiddly to get used to when you first start, but you know, really easy to use. On the bottom of this piece here, there's actually legs that can pop out and fold down. I don't know if the camera can catch that at all there, but it's 4 legs that are built in for stabilization, and they come with these sand and dirt cups that go under the feet so that you can have a bit more ground space for it. So, but yeah, no, overall, this bit of a story as to how much I put into actually install it all. I had to go down to Bunnings to get myself a bit of, you know, 900 by 900mm pine wood to bolt to the floor of the car, and then I mounted these to that bit of pine. Took a lot of trial and error, and as a first time DIY sort of job, I, you know, could have done better, but yeah, I think, yeah, with a lot of swear words, it ended up pretty decent. So just to show you how I've got these drawer and fridge slide mounted to the base of the car, I've actually got obviously this bit of pine wood here. Now you can see a bit of a bow in it, and that's, I think, you know, part of the fact that I'm using pine is it's like when I've bolted it down in the center, it's actually flexed up a bit because the floor is not quite exactly flat. But luckily enough, I managed to get these to be pretty well level enough that like when you leave something on them, they won't roll around or anything like that. One neat little thing that I used was some parts that I never thought I'd use again out of the back of the car. It's got these little tabs here. Now these loops here that are screwed into the top of this fixed drawer here, they're actually the old tie-down points from the rear of the vehicle. So like behind the rear, like near where the third row seats would normally be, there's 4 tie-down points that I've just removed from the floor and then bolted to the top of this drawer here. That way if I put something on this felt bit here, I can actually tie it down with these if I want to. So that's good as well. Obviously back over here you can see my battery box just there, and it's got a couple of ports. It's got, you know, the isolator switch, the, you know, voltage button. I'll leave that on so it just shows always, because that little dial takes next to nothing to, you know, show up. Also, since I'm in the sun with the solar panel here, it stays pretty charged like just about always. So only time I see that voltage drop is when this fridge kicks in. So and at the setting I have it at, it's not often, so I find this to be pretty efficient as to how it goes. Yeah, I tech screwed the battery tray onto the top of the felt MDF that holds the whole box together. Then that tray there has got a strap that holds the battery in, so that's actually pretty solid. It'd take some serious, you know, serious driving to sort of make that go anywhere, so that's pretty solid, I reckon. I also put a rubber mat down underneath between the tray and the battery box itself, so that there was a bit more of that cushioning, so it's not so squeaky or anything like that, so that's good. And yeah, no, it's a so far it's a pretty decent install. I'm gonna call this Gen 1, version 1. You can call it version 1 of my drawer up here, I reckon. Later on in the future I'll probably end up changing this as I need more, but for now this is how it's going to stay for a little while. But yeah, no, big install. This probably took me about a day and a half to do, just with, you know, loaned tools and, like, you know, bits of time and trial and error. Getting the right tool for the right job is like what, you know, really sort of helps out for sure. Yeah, no, I think it's done pretty well. So moving on to what we're actually going to be doing today on this video is we're going to be actually making an attempt at removing the old plastic Toyota Genuine weather shield that, you know, I don't have a matching one on the other side, so rather than just have one on the passenger, I'd rather have them all matching. I'm going to be changing over to these sort of like black plastic slimline fitting ones, so I think that's going to be a good looking upgrade. But yeah, no, I'm going to be doing the replacement for that today, so that's what that's going to be. Just showing what the driver's side looks like at the moment, team. Obviously there's no weather shield on this side. It's always been missing ever since I've owned the car. But it's left behind these little bits of sticky residue that you can probably see. There's a strip of it there, a bit of crumbs of it around here, and then large chunks of it just here still. So we're going to just try and see if we can scrape that off, and then see if we can, you know, remove that to be able to make room for the new stick-on black slim ones for sure. The easy part is going to be fitting up the rear windows, because there's obviously no weather shields on them. That means that these should just stick on really quickly and really easily, which is handy for me at least. But the big part of the job is going to be removing all this old plastic glue. So after hitting it with a heat gun and my little bit of a scraper here, I found that the best way to go about removing as much as you can of this glue anyway is to actually hit it with your heat gun and then use your fingers. Use your fingers, well, you know, obviously you'll burn yourself, but use your fingers just to peel it off lightly and you'll end up getting it a bit more neater. Obviously there's little bits and pieces here and there that I'm just going to struggle to get off anyway, but realistically those little bits and pieces there are going to be covered up by the weather shield anyway. So I'm going to move on to actually installing the weather shield now. But yeah, no, maybe even this little bit of a line here is actually going to you know, give me a guide as to exactly where I should stick the actual piece. So alright, cool, let's see how that goes. So here it is. I've actually managed to stick on the new plastic driver's side one, and luckily enough this plastic piece is actually cut to the shape of the door, since it's to suit this vehicle specifically. It's got even a little cutout insertion here for the mirror holder piece there. Fold that back in actually, we just do that. Yeah, no, it actually, I didn't think it was going to fit at first when I first saw it. I thought it was like not making clearance here, but so far, yeah, it looks like it's stuck all the way around as far as I can see. Only thing I guess left to do now is this. Ooh, all that peel, nice. Yeah. No, I think that looks pretty professional. I think I like the fact that it's tinted rather than just being solid black plastic. I think you can still see through it, which is good. So yeah, I think the front one came out really well. Let's hope the back one is just as easy. Just stuck the back one on now, and you know, contrary to peeling off the old glue and all that and getting that one all lined up correctly, this one here took about half the time, took about 2 minutes, if that really. The thing that I'm not super pleased about is this plastic piece here is actually maybe a couple of millimeters longer than this, so this here and this here don't line up exactly right. But you know, that's what you get when you pay $42 for this stuff off eBay. Yeah, I guess I'll do the peel. Yeah, I think that looks, really good. Yeah, massive improvement over the missing one there. I think having it like that is good. Really, again, tinted, not completely black, so you can still see through it from outside the car, so that's good. But yeah, no, I think it looks way better. As you can see here, it's obviously got same level at the top here, but this here is a little bit lower. So this whole plastic piece here is a little bit shorter. Either that or I've got it like 1 degree crooked, but yeah, I mean, I think I haven't got the best eyesight, so yeah. Yeah, good. Let's move on to the other side. So yeah, here we are over at the passenger side now. We've got this one here. Now this, again, I'm not excited for this part. It's probably going to be the hardest part of the lot. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to fold that mirror out, and then I'm going to hit this with the heat gun along here, just to save myself some time, and see if I can slowly but surely peel off as much of this as I can, all in one go. If I can peel off all of this stuff around here in the one go, and then maybe just, you know, do what I can with it, yeah, hopefully I should have this whole job done in the next 20 minutes or so. So let's see how we go. I don't know how much you can actually see this on the camera, team, but yeah, this is what it looks like after. That's just with a bit of heat and what I could peel off, but it mostly came off the plastic before it came off the actual body of the car. So I'm going to keep hitting it with a heat gun again, and then see if I can't peel off the rest of it with my fingers like I did on the other side. This little bit here I'm not super concerned about. Like, if it looks like that, I'll probably just stick it onto that. But I'd like to get as much of the bulky stuff off as I can. Alright, so I've managed to get the majority off of it. This all of this stuff here is actually relatively flat across there. It's more just like little minute bits of like the fluff from it floating around. Now if I really wanted to, I could go for hours on end and just try and pick all of that on there, but I don't really have the time for it. So on the other side I had bits of this as well, and it was covered up by the weather shield on that side, so I'm just going to stick it on now. I'm just going to go from that. So but yeah, maybe I'll spend a few minutes just outside of video just to clean it up a bit more, but we'll see how it goes with it. Alright, so now the driver's side one is stuck on. Let's do the peel and see how it looks. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think it's you can't tell anywhere where I've left a little bit of grey or anything like that. Can't see any of that floating around at all, so that's pretty cool. There's a little bit of plastic still stuck to it from peel, but yeah, no, I think after the peel, this looks really nice. It's done, you know, it's stuck on there pretty good now, so yeah, leave that to sit for a hot minute, and then yeah, we'll move on to the back door. Now, when it comes to sticking these onto the actual vehicle, they've actually just got these, like, you know, double-sided tape pieces that you just peel off and then just stick it on. But first, always line it up and make sure you've got a correctly shaped bit of plastic, and that it's, you know, you can actually use your hands to line it up to where you need it to be. My pro tip with these is do it while the doors are open. That way it's easier for you to grab the corners of the door frame to line up the actual corners of the weather shield. But yeah, I'm going to stick this one on now, and then we'll do the peel and see how the finished product looks. Okay, so I've just stuck the rear one on now. Now let's go for the peel to see how it looks. Yeah, I think that looks really good. It's a, you know, it obviously is tinted still, is that. Looks like the fitment on this side here was a bit better than the other side. Yep, seems to be stuck on there pretty decently with, you know, the double-sided tape that's included. Now, the double-sided tape has red strips on it that have like the letters 3 and M on it, but I don't think it's actually 3M brand. I think it's probably just, you know, some knockoff stuff, but seems to hold on there pretty okay. If one flies off in the wind, I'll know exactly why. So yeah, I'm going to take it on the inside of the car now, and I'm going to have a look at how it looks from the inside of the vehicle, but yeah, we'll have a gander and see how it goes. Alright, so here I am in the driver's seat now, and as you can see, yeah, from the inside of the vehicle you can tell it's actually tinted. It seems to be on there pretty solid, so no less solid than the old one was, I find. Yeah, from the inside of the vehicle, it's not super low, so if I have to, like, you know, make an order or anything like that, the Macca's drive-through, then yeah, it's not going to be in the way. But yeah, no, all in all, I think the fit was pretty good. I think it really finishes off the look of the car as well.
The last thing I wanted to show you is the before and after shots. As you can see, it's a decent improvement over what was previously there. Hopefully you enjoyed the last 12 or so minutes of watching me learn new things and how to do them better in the future. I look forward to any suggestions in the comments section, so if you have them, please leave them down below. As always, thanks for checking out my video, and I'll catch you next time.